Быстрее! Не останавливаться! Держать темп! Еще 10 повторений! Сильнее! Работай!
Your testosterone is being stolen from you right now, and you don't even know it's happening. Not by age, not by genetics, by the exact training methods, sleep habits, and daily choices that nobody is correcting you on. Here's the brutal truth. Today's men have 25% less testosterone than their fathers had at the exact same age. 25%. That's not a small number. That's the difference between waking up ready to conquer the day and dragging yourself out of bed wondering where your drive went. But here's what nobody is telling you. The Soviets solved this problem decades ago, and we completely forgot about it. Soviet athletes were winning Olympic gold medals at 36 years old. They had muscular, powerful bodies well into their 50s. More energy, more strength, more drive than most men half their age have today. This wasn't luck. This wasn't genetics. This was a system. A proven, tested, decades-long protocol built around one core understanding. Your testosterone doesn't have to decline, not if you follow the right method. So, before we get into that method, you need to understand something critical first. Not all low testosterone is the same. Your body can have two very different problems. The first one is what I call the bad Wi-Fi problem. Your brain is sending signals to your testicles to produce testosterone, but those signals are weak, distorted, like a router on the other side of the house. The signal exists, it's just not getting through properly. And this is completely fixable. The second problem is what I call broken hardware. Your testicles themselves stop responding. Think of it like a machine that was beaten with a hammer until it stopped working. The good news? This level of damage doesn't typically happen until you're around 65 or 70 years old, which means if you're watching this right now, your situation is almost certainly fixable. But here's the catch. The longer you wait, the harder the fix becomes. A man at 35 can reverse low testosterone in 3 to 6 months. That same man at 55 needs 9 to 12 months to reach the same result. Both can succeed, but time is not neutral here. Every year you delay, the mountain gets steeper. So, let's talk about what's actually destroying your testosterone right now, because if you don't identify the problems, no system in the world will save you. The first and most underestimated killer is your sleep. Getting less than 5 hours of sleep per night drops your testosterone by 15% in just 1 week. Let that sink in. 1 week of poor sleep ages your hormonal system by 15 years. Your body produces the vast majority of its testosterone while you sleep. No sleep means no production. It's not complicated, it's just ignored. The second problem is how you're training. Most men are pushing every single set to absolute muscle failure, and every time you do that, your body floods with cortisol. Now, your body is incredibly smart, but it cannot tell the difference between a brutal workout and being chased by a predator, so it responds the same way. It dumps cortisol into your bloodstream to help you survive the threat. Here's why that destroys your testosterone. Cortisol and testosterone are both built from the same raw material, cholesterol. They compete for it directly. More cortisol automatically means less testosterone. It's two companies fighting over the same limited supply. One wins, the other loses. And when you're training to failure every session, cortisol wins every single time. And it's not just heavy training causing the problem. Chronic cardio is equally dangerous. Studies consistently show that long-distance runners have significantly lower testosterone than men who don't run marathons. Why? Because endless cardio signals your body to become lighter and more efficient. And the way your body becomes lighter is by breaking down muscle. Your system thinks you're surviving a famine, so it sacrifices muscle tissue and suppresses testosterone production to keep you alive longer. This doesn't mean you should avoid cardio entirely. It means that if cardio is the only thing you're doing, you are working directly against your hormones. And finally, body fat. 4 extra inches around your waist gives you a 75% higher risk of low testosterone. Why? Because excess fat converts testosterone into estrogen. More fat means more estrogen. Less testosterone means your body stores even more fat. And now you're trapped in a loop that feeds itself. Now you understand the enemies. Let's talk about what the Soviets actually did. The first principle of the Soviet method was this: never use your best reps. If you can do 10 pull-ups, you stop at 6 or 7. You leave reps in the tank deliberately. Every rep you hold back is less cortisol released and more testosterone preserved. This concept, training below your maximum threshold, creates a dramatically better testosterone to cortisol ratio than grinding yourself into the ground every session. The second principle was movement selection. Soviet athletes built their programs almost entirely around compound movements: squats, deadlifts, presses, rows, Olympic lifts, movements that recruit the maximum number of muscle groups simultaneously. Why? Because large muscle groups generate large hormonal responses. Training your biceps with isolation curls is like lighting a candle. Squatting heavy is like lighting a bonfire. The bonfire demands more fuel, and that fuel is testosterone. The third principle was wave loading, not linear progression. Modern training programs tell you to go harder every session, add weight, add reps, push further until you burn out, plateau, or get injured. The Soviets rejected this completely. Their loading followed a wave pattern: hard session, medium session, very hard session, light session. Then repeat the cycle. This structure allowed the body to adapt, recover, and come back stronger without the cumulative stress that destroys hormonal balance over time. Soviet athletes didn't just perform at a high level for one season, they performed for decades. That's the difference. The fourth principle was recovery as a non-negotiable priority. 9 or more hours of sleep was standard. Afternoon naps were common. Sauna sessions and cold exposure were built into the weekly routine, not as trendy biohacks, but as deliberate tools for dropping cortisol and accelerating hormonal recovery. Between heavy sets, Soviet athletes rested 2 to 5 minutes, not 60 seconds like most gym programs recommend today. Full recovery between sets means your energy systems reset completely, your nervous system recovers, and your cortisol stays controlled. Their training sessions ran 45 to 60 minutes of focused, intense work. That's it. While modern gym culture has people wandering around for 2 hours, half of it spent on their phone, Soviet athletes maximized every minute and then left. 3 to 4 focused sessions per week. That's all the system requires. 3 sessions of 30 to 45 minutes per week is the absolute minimum. 4 sessions of 45 to 60 minutes is optimal. That's roughly 3 hours total per week to completely transform your hormonal profile. Now, let's address the supplements question, because almost everyone asks. 75% of testosterone boosters on the market have zero scientific evidence proving they work. Some of them actively lower your testosterone. The ones that do show real results, like vitamin D and zinc, only help if you have an actual deficiency. If you want to know whether supplements can help you specifically, get a blood test first. Know your numbers, then make decisions based on your actual biology, not marketing. But here's my honest belief. Training done correctly is more powerful than any pill ever manufactured. When you implement this system correctly, here's the realistic timeline of what happens. In weeks 1 and 2, you'll notice increased energy and a noticeably better mood. After each training session, you'll experience a testosterone spike that lasts 30 to 60 minutes. That feeling of being pumped after a great workout, that's exactly what that is. By weeks 3 and 4, your strength improves primarily through better neural connections. Your mood continues stabilizing as your sleep quality improves. Between months 1 and 3, the visible physical changes arrive. Muscle increases, body fat decreases. Studies show an 18% increase in testosterone is achievable during this window, depending on your starting point and consistency. And when you combine optimized training with proper sleep, reduced stress, and fat loss together, research shows increases of 25 to 45% are realistic. The Soviet system was never designed for quick fixes. It was designed for men who want to stay strong, sharp, and hormonally healthy for life, not for 6 weeks, for decades. The biggest difference between men who maintain their testosterone as they age and men who watch it disappear comes down to one thing: not genetics, not luck, action versus waiting. The system is here. The protocol is proven. The only question left is whether you'll start before the window gets any harder to open. If you want more forgotten methods for reaching your physical potential, subscribe right now and watch the next video.